You know, people think and they talk about Nashville as a country music town, and it really is, but Nashville is more than anything else, I believe. Nashville is a song town. Songwriters from all different styles of music come to Nashville to write and to co-write with other writers. And so there's lots of writers' rooms set up in different places around town. It's a little unusual for most cities that there's rooms set aside just for songwriting. And something else that we do that's, I guess, a little bit unique to Nashville is there's lots of times we will do what they call writers' rounds. And they'll take 4 of us and put us in a circle, and we'll just kind of go round robin and share songs we've written. And you know, the Bluebird and places like that, I've been able to be a part of those nights, and they're so much fun. And got to know a lot of great writers. But one of the last ones I did back before COVID stopped everything, one of the writers in the group was Tony Arata. Tony is a Hall of Fame songwriter. He wrote The Dance for Garth Brooks, lots of other things. Great writer. And he mentioned the whole essence of songwriting is to be able to tell other people's story, to be able to write a song, and when other people hear it, it's so personal to them. And that's not something that you can just, necessarily do every time, It takes lots of work and inspiration and I guess the craft and the gift. But I wrote one that every time I sing it, I hear people, will tell me afterwards that was truly their story. And I want to share it with you this morning. When I was about 15, Daddy bought a farm. Daddy had always wanted a farm. And so when I was about 15, Mom and Daddy sold our little house in town and bought this farm. Well, by that point in my life, I was already working after school and on the weekends. So I wasn't home as much. And then I was 16 and I was driving, so I was home even less. And then I was out of school and gone chasing music. So I never got emotionally attached to the farm the way that I did the little house in town. That little house in town will always be my home place. It'll always be where I grew up. And I used to every now and then drive out by it just to see it. And I'd drive up on the streets in the neighborhood where I used to ride my bike and play with the neighborhood kids and that sort of thing. But one of the last times I was there, I'm driving real slow and I'm looking at that house up on the hill, and all these memories are flooding in. And it took me a minute to realize that there was somebody in the doorway up there looking at me, wondering, who are you and what are you doing staring at my house, And it was a strange experience because I had the feeling, who are you and why are you living in my house? That's what it felt like. And I realized that most of us have a similar experience. Most of us are not living in the house we grew up in. Most of us have a house or a place in our heart that we still hold precious, that we no longer have access to. It might be where you grew up. It might be where your grandparents lived, or where you lived in another town before you moved here. So all those emotions were coming together, and I wrote this song. This was a top 10 song a couple of years ago, but this is one of my favorite things I've ever written. So I hope you enjoy it. A little wood frame house on a quiet street, the centerpiece of all my childhood memories. I drive that way every now and then to remember where I came from and who I've been. I turn down that old familiar black top. I slow down, but I don't stop. The little house where I was raised surely seen its better days, and somehow looks much smaller than before. But Daddy's gone and Mama too, it's lived in by somebody new. Strangers locked behind our old screen door. Or will I still go back, but I can't go home anymore. I wish I'd known way back then just how fast time gets here, then it's gone again. One day I'm there with my folks inside, and the next I'm just a stranger slowly driving by. You might just see shingles, windows, walls and doors, but to me it's so much more. The little house where I was raised surely seen its better days, and somehow looks much smaller than before. But Daddy's gone and Mama too, it's lived in by somebody new. Strangers locked behind our old screen door. Or will I still go back? But I can't go home anymore. The backyard where we tossed the ball till Mama said supper's ready, y'all. And we joined hands and Daddy thanked the Lord. The bedroom where I dared to dream of places I had never seen, a great big world that called me to explore, and brought me back full circle to this door. Or will I still go back? But I can't go home anymore. Yes, I still go back, but I can't go home anymore. Amen. Thank you.